So yes, you've been watching the role of mentors in innovation and creativity and all that, and everything that concerns the youth. And don't forget to subscribe to Sauti Kweli Media.
Asante sana, we are rolling. I love recording show. So here we are once again. This is Mentorship Mondays, here at the Mentors Show, and we are bringing you once again Matters Mentorship integrated with other disciplines. So today we are focusing on the role of mentors in youth creativity and innovation. And I have my guest, Brian Mwau. Karibu sana, bro.
Thank you very much.
And Ezron, karibu sana once again into the show.
Thank you.
Just to start off this show,
yes.
One of my mentors by the name Bishop David Udepo said something, that anyone who is lacking a mentor is actually limited in terms of realizing their full potential. Then, Brian, what is really the role of mentors? If we might just start with that.
So actually, thank you very much again for actually hosting me in your show today.
Yes.
And going direct to the question that you've asked,
yes.
I think it's best even we start by the definition who is a mentor.
Who is really a mentor?
Who is really a mentor, and according to my understanding, I take a mentor as someone who is already where I'm projecting myself to be,
yes.
Be it in a given time, might be a decade, might be a lifetime. Okay. Someone who has already achieved, and who already know what it takes for me to be able to get there.
So then he or she has actually gone through the steps that you want to be.
Exactly, so that he or she can be able now to provide for me the information that I require, or rather the advice that I need, yes. So as to be able not to make the mistakes they made,
okay.
And so as to make me to conveniently and easily be able to achieve what I want to achieve.
Wow, that's good. Ezron, allow me to bring you in at this point, because one of the benefits of mentorship is that it's able to bring you out of mistakes that you're about to make. Yeah?
Yes. Yeah.
And the good book says that let us not be lazy, let us not be slothful, but be ye followers of them who through faith and patience have inherited the promises.
Yes.
What then is the role of, how can youth be able to identify these mentors who have gone ahead of them, to be able to hold their hand, guide them, direct them, and just sit under them? And also you can mention some of your mentors who have helped you in such kind of a scenario.
I think basing my thoughts on the fact that a mentor is someone who is already better than you.
Exactly.
Because that is the baseline.
Yes.
He has to be better than you. It doesn't matter the caliber of age, of class, whatever it is, but that person is better than you in a given discipline that you take.
Yes.
So for you to be able to identify a mentor, you have to seek.
Okay.
What do I need to get from the mentor?
Yes.
What do I need to understand from what he's been doing? People make mistakes because we are human. So we have to find a way in which we can come up as youth.
Yes.
And focus ourselves and say, I need to understand how this person got to this place.
Okay.
I need to get to know how this person managed to go through the steps to get to wherever he or she is.
Okay.
Because with that, if you don't want to understand that, then definitely you wouldn't classify yourself as a mentee.
Okay.
Yes, because a mentor and a mentee is a symbiotic relationship.
Wow.
Once you get to meet or to seek your mentor, that is when now you get to decide, am I supposed to follow this route or not? Am I destined to go to this route or not? Because that is the main baseline that we have, so that you can differentiate yourself from either making the same mistake somebody made, or advancing yourself, being better than whoever moved from that position to get to where you are.
Because really, Brian, one of the things about mentors is every genuine mentor will always want his mentee to be better, to do more. Because he is giving you experience, he's giving you knowledge, he's giving you wisdom, and you're also coming in with your own uniqueness and your difference and your strengths, right?
Yes.
But allow me to bring you in at this point on matters creativity and innovation.
Yes.
One of the things that we actually realize at the moment is innovation is actually the future. We are actually living believing in it.
Yes.
And so we are looking at a scenario where it's not just going to be about our papers and, you know, certificates and stuff like that. It's going to be about how creative can you be. It's going to be about what skills do you have. How then can youths be able to, you know, sustain and improve on their creativity and innovation?
Yes, I'll get to that question,
Okay.
but there's something of great interest actually you've mentioned,
Yes.
that anytime that you're being mentored,
Yes.
your mentor always wants, is always looking forward for you to
Yeah,
become better
to
than.
become better.
And actually what is automatic about that is because if you have a mentor, you have the benefit of time. You see, already you're living a life that your mentor has already led.
Okay.
So, and if he corrects you and he tells you, actually, I tried this step and it didn't work.
Yeah, it didn't work.
You just try this. He's already giving you the right steps. So there is that aspect of being, he's saving time for you and making you to make actually prompt decisions that will have prompt outcomes. And that's the benefit that you acquire from
I
a
didn't
mentor.
really see that aspect, but
Yes.
I think it's coming out so well because you are able to get some time that if your mentor spent 5 years doing something,
Exactly.
he or she now knows the challenges, what
correct.
he or she went through.
Correct.
So if he shares with you these experiences,
Yes.
then you're able to evade these mistakes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
In addition to that,
Yeah.
I think your mentor
Yes.
also passed through that stage.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, true.
He or she was once in that position.
Yes.
And he therefore tried a lot of things.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
he found himself getting to align himself to a different thing.
Okay.
So you'll find he has the knowledge and the ability to tell you, you know, he might not even tell you that I tried this. He'll just
Yeah,
tell
yeah.
you, this thing might not work.
Yes, correct.
But you can go ahead.
Yes.
He's giving you an option of where you
option
have
of
choices
what
to
to
choose.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
You have
yes.
a choice to make. Do you want to go the right way or do you want to go the way that you feel
Correct.
will take you back to where he was?
Yes.
Yes, because that is what I wanted to add on that point because it's a really good thing.
Yeah, it's a good
that
thing. Brian, we just, you know, came out of pandemic and
Yes.
we are still having this on board.
Yes.
But one thing I know about for companies, for institutions that have retrenched people, the most people that have actually been able to keep their jobs are those who are creative.
Absolutely.
There is something, an addition that they are bringing on the table.
Yes.
How then can, you know, we as youths will be able to sustain creativity and also improve on our skill?
As a youth, you have to be, that's a must. You have to be, it's a basic actually factor. You have to be innovative. And innovation here is just seeing everything that everyone is seeing, but you have the benefit of looking at it on a different angle. If they see problem, you see solution. If they see challenge, you see a benefit.
Okay.
So that is what, and it's all start with your mentality. If you have the mentality that this is a problem, it becomes a bigger problem.
Or as a man thinks, so he becomes.
Yes, absolutely. And if you view this as an opportunity, actually it becomes an opportunity and it becomes an area where you can be able to start, you know, making a resourceful venture.
Yeah, sure.
So innovation is really key to our generation because actually statistics show that most of the gold that has been mined so far is been from the mind, not from the mines.
Yes.
Oh, from the mind.
Yeah, and it's true. Go check innovation that have been made in the last 1 decade. They are of more value than the gold that has been mined in the last 20 years. Yes. So the right gold mine is in the mind, and that's where, and it all starts up with mentality, having the right attitude, and knowing there's a way out, and knowing that the challenge that you're facing or people are facing. For now, we were talking about pandemic. The pandemic came. It's not the first pandemic that came in the world,
Actually, it's not.
and anyone who viewed that as an opportunity, actually, wherever they are right now, they are smiling.
And also, I think how we view things as youths is going to become key.
Correct.
Ezra, allow me to bring you in also. Because when it comes to improving your skill, it starts from that point of how you view what you even have.
Absolutely.
But again, there's something that our youths are actually struggling with, which is called contentment.
Yes.
We have people who want to blend in. We have people who want to borrow and be like the others. We have youths who want to be like so and so.
Yes,
They are forgetting that themselves also they are unique.
Yes.
They are different.
Absolutely.
And so that issue of contentment becomes key, because if I am not contented with what God has deposited in me, it becomes also hard to improve on the same thing. Yeah. Ezron, there are two things that are said to make. They say if you want to walk well, you need to walk with two of your legs.
Of course.
And in this area of creativity and innovation, we are talking about character. We are talking about capacity. So capacity opens rooms for you, but character is what sustains you. Why is it that many of our youth struggle with the issues of character?
I want to combine the answer to that question with what he said, because he said the mind has a lot of innovations.
Yes,
right?
yes, true.
I tend to believe that most youths in the current generation think that being creative or innovative is 100% practical. They forget to realize that even an idea is a creative idea.
Exactly.
It's an innovative idea.
Yes.
You might have an idea, but now you have to look for the resource to implement the idea. That is where now the mentors come in.
Okay.
You have the idea, but you don't have the resource. So you have a creative idea.
Yes.
You innovate your idea in your mind on paper, make it realistic, make it feasible, make it viable. Then you outsource for the resource to get the implementation part of it.
Correct.
Yeah, sure.
Right? So when you talk about character and capacity building, for instance, if you have your master's or your doctor of philosophy, right? And you go to a table where we have a rich man, a king, and a priest.
Yes.
Right? So a rich man, a king, and a priest. And you have your papers. Do you think your papers would make you a king?
Not really, but they have taken it to the table at least.
They've taken it to the table.
Yeah, because of one's gift is able to make room for you to stand before kings.
So the papers took you to the table, but what will sustain you on that table?
Your character.
Your character.
Okay.
Your idea. Your creative thinking.
Okay.
Your innovative part of your mind.
Yes.
That is what will sustain you on that table. And so people have to realize that without these mentors, we cannot have the best character of ourselves.
Exactly.
Because you do not, you don't get, wake up in the morning and decide and say, today I want to go and buy a car.
Okay.
You don't.
No.
You have to go through a step.
Yeah.
And if you buy a car, there are some logistics you have to go through.
Yeah, so the process is actually key.
The process is very key.
Actually.
And us identifying those mentors in our own creative ideas, that is what builds us. Because I have the idea, yes, but who am I supposed to go to present the idea to, or approach the idea to the person and get to know and get to understand that this is the line that if I take, I'm going to make a milestone in something else, right? And that is where you find we are always told a mentor should not look for a mentee.
Yes.
Yes, I have the idea.
I think is also something our generation is struggling
with.
Because they are waiting for the mentors to come
to locate
us.
them.
Yes.
Well, government help us. You need to come to us. But I believe we as youth also have, we need to be that creative enough to see how do we approach them. And also you can't approach someone who you've not been listening to, who you don't know what they
Correct.
And stuff like that.
And actually, to add on character,
yes.
You see, character is also what makes you unique. You see, at the end of the day, we have so many youth who are graduating from colleges, universities. People have papers. And actually, in our generation, we are getting to a generation where papers don't matter anymore. Because everyone wants, you produce your doctorate paper, your master's paper. What defines you as a person? Because that is what, character is what defines, it is what actually will define a specific person from the list of 1 million youth who are already graduates, who are it's your character that will make you stand out. And character is something that you cannot run. Actually, we normally say, in the cybersecurity world, we normally say character before skill. Because you see, in cybersecurity, you are taught to protect data.
Yes,
and
yes.
that means this skill that you have in is really dangerous, because if you are not a person of character and that ends integrity, you might use this skill that you hold in the negative. So character is that thing that puts you in a place of, actually character supports skill.
Yes.
And it's the backbone of skill.
There's a frame of where you are working.
Exactly.
And I believe that's key, because in terms of character, we are talking about trust, integrity, honesty, and all these principles that you have as a
correct.
Brian, allow me to bring you in and just ask now on matters capacity and character.
Yes.
How then can youths be able to develop and build capacity under mentors?
Yes. Under mentors.
Yes.
First, as a youth, you need to know who you are. You have to identify yourself. Know what are the things that you are good at. What are these, the things that you don't struggle to do. Like, for example, I don't struggle to talk or to express myself. That is a unique trait that I discovered about it myself early, and now I realize this trait that I have about composing yourself and driving out to your point is what most of my teammates, they don't have. So already I knew, even before I met my team, I already know what is my purpose, who am I as a person, what is it best that I know. That means I can if we are pitching, I can play a key role in pitching, because I'm able to. So number one is identifying yourself. What are you good at? Number two is having a target. What do you want to achieve in that specific time? Have set goals. Then once you have set goals, is again identify what do you have available. What to achieve these goals, what are those things
those things
that are readily available for you, because also you don't want to go to start looking for mentors and you're giving him a lot of problems. Even him is surprised, he or she is where do I start from? Yes, so look for what you already have available. Is it skill? Is it a team? Is it a laptop? Is it what do you have available? Then once you have all those three things available, start working out something towards achieving one of the goals that you established. Try use what you have available towards achieving a goal. Then once you've started up something for yourself, now identify in this goal that you're chasing, it's maybe aligned to a specific field. Now identify people who are doing well, who are renowned in that specific area. Number one, you don't need a physical mentor. You can, nowadays we have the advantage of social media, YouTube and all that. You can go on YouTube, watch the interviews. For example, me, I'm in innovation. You will find most of the time I'm watching interviews of Jeff Bezos and people who are in the tech world. So once you identify those specific high performance in that specific area, you can start mentoring yourself actually through YouTube. You can, because again, I'm sure you remember I mentioned something to do with what you have available. Definitely, maybe you have a phone, you have access to Wi-Fi. So you're already mentoring yourself. You're creating that image of that mentor you want to project. So once you've started mentoring yourself, because again, there's a point you mentioned, but before you're approaching a mentor, you need already also to know what is in their mind. So there, anytime you're having a conversation with them,
you are striking in that.
Yes, you are striking.
What is in their mind, and also maybe what are they passionate about? Or even their area of specificity.
Absolutely, because mentorship comes from conversation. You'll not just walk in a mentor's place and you say, "Sir, I want you to mentor me about innovation." No, mentorship is more of what we are doing. It's a conversation. So if you don't have a like-minded with your mentor, that means you will mention something that maybe you will not be able to have a conversation, and that mentorship aspect will not be able to come. So there is a place of preparation. You have to prepare yourself before you meet your mentor. Start checking interviews. For example, I've been mentored by Dr. Chris Kirubi. And even before I met him in person,
Yes.
I was always reading his tweets,
Yeah.
his tweets every day. I was always checking his interviews,
have that in-
all interviews that he's ever gone.
Yes.
I always wanted to see what does he talk about. So that puts you in a place of preparation. By the time now you're meeting this person, you already packaged, you already know his line of thought. Anytime he picks up a topic, you know how you can engage in that conversation, and that's where now the liking aspect it starts to come in. Like by the time you're meeting your mentor day one, you should have a goal that by the time you're leaving that place, he will want to call you and have a conversation and engage you more. Not it's because mentorship is not a one-day thing.
It's not a one-day thing.
And it's not even a 1 year.
That also means that by the time you're meeting your mentor,
Yes.
it's not like now you're offloading everything on
Exactly.
that same day.
Yes.
And that same day now you
Yes.
want to be, you
Yes.
are my mentor, I'm your mentee, you get.
Yes,
So it's
yes.
about cultivating. I think I was listening to this wise man the course of this week,
Yes.
and he tells us one thing, that mentorship is not fishing.
Yes.
It's not something you just go and take a hook and
Correct.
do this. Mentorship is actually what we call farming. So
Yes.
there is some cultivation that you're making.
Yes.
There is a cultivation of this relationship now and time again.
Yeah.
Ezron, we have heard about, packaging yourself, about finding what you do, getting the available resources, getting to know your passions. And this brings me to this idea then. As youth, should we be doing this? Because many people feel like if I didn't have money, or if I had money, I could have done this. Should we be talking about, impact, or should we be talking about first getting the money? Because also I feel that we are losing it at that point. Many people have actually lost their mentors because they started asking their mentors money and this and favors, and that kills the relationship. Yes. How should we approach it?
I think the first course a youth should take is do not focus on the instant money.
Okay.
Do not focus on what you think this thing is going to bring the amount of this money at this point. In science, we sometimes talk about the half-time.
Okay.
Yes, right? The half-life of a given compound or a given chemical for it to decompose or to just completely dissociate, right? So you find, even in mentorship, having a mentor, there is a half-life.
Yes.
Yes.
Because you don't want to tell me that if, for instance, you were mentored by Dr. Chris Kirubi,
Yeah, correct.
and I follow him on Twitter, right?
Yes.
And when I look at his tweets, completely one day I will also be in a position in which somebody has to look at my tweets
Exactly.
and what I write and what I do.
Exactly.
And the same person would compare whatever I write with my mentor that I mentioned.
Yes.
You get?
Yeah,
So my
because
half-life
there's
with
a
my
way.
mentor has
Yeah.
reduced to the point that there's somebody I am mentoring in the same capacity that
Yes.
I identified a mentor for him to be to where he's supposed to be.
Yes.
So when you look at that, the stages in which you go through, that is where I would say for a youth,
Yes.
do not focus on having the money immediately.
Yeah.
Yes, you're
not even the resources.
the resources.
Yeah.
Yes, you're supposed to monetize your passion as fast as possible.
Yeah.
It might be easy, but don't take it the cheapest way.
Okay.
That's what I always tell myself.
Yeah.
It is an easy thing. You have the idea, the creative idea as a youth. You want to monetize it. You've known how you're going to monetize it. You've drawn your plan of how you're going to get the money. But what is stopping you? The thought that you have, the mentality that you have,
Yes.
the effect of, if I was given this amount of money, what happens?
Yeah.
I like what one of these days, one of the media person said, who is Jalango, asked one simple question. These youths who are saying that they don't have money, they don't have what to do. If you give them 100,000 right now, what is he going to do?
And
Immediately you give him 100,000.
I think
What is he going to
that will actually kill them. The last time TDJX was in Kenya, he mentioned the same thing. He was saying the reason why, he used the example of the prodigal son, the reason why he was able to fail in that manner, because he was given his inheritance so soon, okay? So he was saying, if I was to destroy any of my mentees or any of the youths, I will take my company and everything in it and give you. So what they have not given you is actually the experience, the process, because we want to be like them, what we are seeing at the end of the movie.
Yes.
But you are forgetting from the first of the movie, there are things that have really happened.
And you've said something very important. What the best thing you can benefit from a mentor is not monetary.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's the things, that experience, that knowledge.
that
Because it's knowledge. You see, if I give you money and I don't give you knowledge, that means you will not be able to reproduce, because it's like giving you money. I've given you money, but I've not given you the knowledge. So you don't know how can I use this money and become this person.
Even the how, what you have just mentioned.
Exactly.
Because you give money,
Yes.
but you have left the how.
You've left
so
the
they cannot be able
yes.
to reproduce.
And then also to add on something else he really mentioned, which was very important, was I think the question that you had asked him was about the
impact.
impact, correct. So personally, I have categories of mentors.
Yeah, sure.
I have business mentors. For example, Dr. Chris Kirubi, Dr. James Moria, they are my business mentors. Also, I have spiritual mentors, Bishop David Oyedeble, and a couple more. And in one of his books, and I read actually Miles Monroe, in one of Bishop's book I was reading, and it's about being of great impact to your world. He said, for you to be able at the end of the day to become impactful,
Yes.
number one, you need to be committed.
Commitment.
Find your cause, then be committed to it. Once you're committed, automatically you will become creative.
Yes.
Once out of commitment, you become creative. Then as you become creative, automatically you become productive.
Because now creativity adds
Yes.
to something.
So because now you have ideas and you can do things, so you become productive.
Exactly.
And as you're becoming productive, you start becoming successful, because and success can be defined either you're making resources, you impact, and as you become successful, because success is defined, that's why I've told you you have to have a couple of mentors, because you can be successful in business but not doing so well in your social life. So you have to make sure that you have to balance the line. So as you become successful, and if you become consistently successful, you become outstandingly successful. And out of that is where now impact will be seen. And impact can be in different ways. Impact can be through, you also become now, you start mentoring your younger generation. That is already impact. Another impact, you become an employer of labor. For example, I like giving the example of Ajiry. I met the developers, we developed Ajiry sometime last year in 2019 in May. That is when it was launched. And I met my team. At that time we were still attending the National Cybersecurity Training Program, but towards completion. And it was a young team. I met a team of 5 of us from different counties, different universities. And what we had available at that time is the skill to develop.
There was something.
There was something.
Yes.
And now because also now we are developing in Ajiry. Ajiry is a platform where it's meant to connect. It's a connection platform, both employers and employees.
Yes.
People who are looking for. At this time, when we are developing, we only have the mindset of an employee, of a youth who has graduated.
Yeah, exactly.
No matter how much you research, yes, no matter how much you research, you can never equate we could never adequately have put ourselves in the shoes of an employer. What is an employer looking for? It's like writing an exam that you're already marking for yourself. So that aspect now, that's where now our bosses came in. My MD, my MD is called Mr. James Nicole. He's from Britain. So he came in with the mindset of an employer. Him as an employer, we had to sit with him. You as an employer, what are you looking for? Because if we get his mindset and as an employer, and we have the mindset of us as people who are looking for opportunities. Now, once you put the balance, this platform that you're creating, it will automatically fit the two areas and meet the purpose it's supposed to meet. So within 11 days, we developed the application Ajiry, and it was launched through Centum Investment and its subsidiary Tribus TSG in 22nd of May. But where I want you to see commitment then from commitment you see creativity and product. So we were committed. We developed this application within 11 days. At that time, we were still doing. It was in 2019.
Wow.
Within 11 days, so we used to attend the National Cybersecurity Training Program during the day, and then after in the evening we meet for like 2 hours. And mind you, we are still tired. We meet for like 2 hours. We check on. We do a recheck. We task you to do this. Have you done this? And within 11 days, actually the application was developed. Then thereafter, that is now commitment to creativity to productivity. It was launched by Centum Investment in 22nd of May last year. Then thereafter, you see, after launch, there's an expectation because we've launched. What's next?
Exactly.
Can we now? Yes. We want to see now the success. We want to see the success.
Practicality.
Yes. So we had to go out. As a team of 5, we had to go out, look for the employers, convince them to post their jobs on this platform. Also, on the same time, go convince our fellow youth to sign up there to look for the jobs. So there was that commitment and resilience. And by God's grace, by the second month, we actually, after the launch, we actually broke the record that LinkedIn set. They acquired 4,500 users after 1 month after their launch. As we acquired 4,500 users 3 days after the launch. So that impact attracted MasterCard Foundation.
Okay.
Remember, we started as a team of 5.
Yes.
And by God's grace, we got a grant of $1.4 million. And automatically now we had to open, our vision was then was to open, of which now we have already achieved, was to open Ajiry centers across the counties and create more employment. So to date we've been, absolutely. So to date we've been able to actually, we are in 14 counties and still counting. And from that initial 5 of creative people, it's now created in January. This year we employed 100 youth to work in the 10 counties. So you see, anytime there's there's productivity, then creativity, and there's success. Impact always comes automatically in terms of numbers, in terms
as
of.
As long as now this process has been.
Yes, sorry, I was answering your question about impact, and I deviated. Yes.
You brought about it, and I mean it's been a great.
Yes.
And this is now whereby we sign out. Most of the time we usually go like starting the show.
Yes.
And you telling us about yourself.
Yes.
So this is now where we sign out.
Yes.
After everyone has heard, the most important thing is the content that we are bringing.
Yes.
Apart from people knowing who we are. And so, Ezron, your parting shot.
Okay, I would say one thing. Creativity is in the mind, right?
Yes.
And creativity and innovation work together.
Yeah.
So if your mind is creative enough, then you can be an innovator.
Okay.
And Makiu, not all youths are creative. Not all youths are creative.
Yes.
Because it's also a gift in a way, because you might look at something in 1 dimension, somebody looks at it in 2 dimensions, another person looks at it in 3 dimensions. You get? So the creativity levels of people differ. So youth should understand, should know, this is my level of creativity. How am I supposed to make it work better?
Exactly.
The moment you understand that about yourself, the moment you understand, if you're a critical thinker, use that, make it more productive in your life.
Yes.
If you know you're a practical thinker, use it as much as you can use it.
Wow.
Because not everybody can do whatever every person does.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
I think the most thing that we youth need to realize is that we are all different. But if we realize that our difference is what makes our uniqueness, then it will make us to invest more on this difference.
That difference.
So that it doesn't make me to blend in.
Yes.
Brian,
yes.
As your parting shot, also just tell our viewers who really is Brian Mwau.
Yes.
And your social media handles where they can reach you, and also how they can reach Ajiry. Because
absolutely.
I believe if many youths are being impacted through this platform, the more we need to share it more and more.
Yes. So Actually, I find it that's a sharp way of doing it. Introduction comes after the content.
Exactly.
Yes, my name is Mwau. I'm the lead developer of Ajiry application and also the cybersecurity lead in Tribus TSG under Centum Investment, among others.
Yes.
And actually, you can find us on Ajiry, because I believe most of our viewers actually are the youth who are looking for opportunities. And I can tell you one place that you can get your career started is Ajiry, and it's Ajiry with R-Y, not R-I.
Yeah.
So A-J-I-R-Y.
Okay.
So go www.ajiry.com, sign up, create an account there, and you can go to the job section. You'll find employers. We have a lot of employers who are posting their jobs there. It's free of charge. Apply for those jobs. We've already actually assisted in the placement of now I think we are close to the 9,000 mark. Actually, we are around 8,700 youth have already benefited in the last 1 year in terms of placements. So you can become part of that team. Yes, you can become part of that. And yeah, in conclusion, what I like to tell you, my fellow youth, minds of the world, they are only geographically located, but minds of the mind, where the real gold is located in innovation. Keep on innovating. Don't shy away from having ideas and chasing ideas. You always generate new ideas and run with them, and be resilient, because an idea of today might be the success of tomorrow. So just be consistent and be quick to learn, and use the available resources that you have: internet connection, Wi-Fi, books. Actually, by God's grace, today I'm driving. Okay. But one secret I used back then when I was not driving. Anytime I was getting from work. Yeah. Anytime I we used to pick buses in. Archives, yes. Archives. I used to go to Archives. I pick a KBS. At that time I was living in Untawala. Yes. So because there's traffic, yes, Sikitambo sana. It's Sikitambo. So
when you said be quick to learn, also be willing to learn. Be willing to learn.
So as I was using to pick the bus from, there's always traffic jam.
Yeah,
so
big one.
I used to take advantage of this time. I used to read. Yeah. So I used to have e-PDFs, e-books on my book. Wow. So don't listen, read. Because most of the people, they say nowadays there is podcast. In listening, you can always lose concentration. But in reading, you'll always repeat and you repeat and repeat. So anytime you're in a matatu, anytime you're moving from point A to point B on your way to school, just get something and read. And trust you me, it will not make sense in the first month, second month, but after the third month, it will start making sense.
Wow.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Brian, Mwau, for
Thank you very much.
It's been great having you as a guest. Thank you everyone for your contribution.
Thank you.
And that is it. To our fellow youths and to our generation, we are also testimonies of the same. So resilience is there. Please keep it up. Know who you are. Invest in yourself. Get creative. Don't shy away from the ideas. Even if your idea has been stolen, we have very many youths who have gone down because the ideas have been stolen. At least celebrate that the source hasn't been stolen. So keep having more ideas and keep innovating. Thank you. That was from us, the mentors, here every Monday at Sauti Media. See you next time. God bless you. Cheers.
Wow.
Thank you so much, son.